Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Shonen manga has an oversexualization problem that is just triggering me. That's right, I finally decided to take a stand against the oversexualization of men in the shonen genre. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The amount of time male characters show off their muscles or go shirtless is genuinely insulting and disgusting. These artists should be ashamed of themselves. Let me go through some popular examples. The first is Fist of the North Star, or Hokuto no Ken. The protagonist is Kenshiro, and he's already off to a bad start. His basic outfit is a sleeveless jumpsuit with an open chest. The entirety of his ripped arms and bulging chest are forced onto the viewer's eyes without their consent. This is absolutely disgusting. It's the sexualization for me. But you know what? It gets worse. During fights, Kenshiro sometimes rips off his shirt to go completely topless, leaving his buff biceps, punching pecs, and alpha abs visible to all. It's giving problematic. I can't even believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. This is absolutely disgusting. Why does he need to get naked to fight? Why can't he just keep his clothes on? He was already showing too much muscle. Please don't do that, boo. My next target is Dragon Ball Z. This manga is just as disgusting as the last. Every fight has a disgusting degree of sexualization. In the very first fight of the Saiyan saga, Goku, Piccolo, and Raditz all have their bare muscular arms showing, and Raditz has his muscular legs showing. By the end of the fight, half of Goku's shirt is ripped, exposing his biceps. Not DBZ trying to expose more muscles. Utterly despicable. When we get to the next fight, Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, and Nappa all have their arms exposed. Nappa has his legs exposed. Tien is completely shirtless, and Piccolo, Nappa, and Goku all eventually go shirtless. How many muscular men are necessary in this manga? Toriyama really thought he ate. What a disgusting pervert. You thought that was it? In the Frieza saga, Krillin and Frieza are showing off bare arms and legs. Piccolo showed off his arms and some pecs. Frieza went completely nude, and Goku eventually went shirtless. You think this is acceptable? Child, go play. These artists should not be motivating men to get in shape and achieve objectively healthy bodies. They should allow people to stay the size that they are, even if it's unhealthy. I mean, I can't even watch DBZ without feeling self-conscious. That's so discriminatory. Then, the Android saga has things like Ascended Super Saiyan, where the muscles get extra bulky, even showing through the clothes, which is just obscene. Characters continue to show off arms, legs, and chests in an atrocious manner. By the end, Teen Gohan is shirtless and flexing his muscles in front of my eyes. How dare he? Doesn't Toriyama know that most teenagers were unable to achieve this kind of physique? He's setting such an unrealistic standard for young men across the world. This is toxic masculinity at its finest, period, and is. The Majin Buu arc finally has some fat representation amidst all of the new indecent display of bulging muscles in the form of Buu. But that character gets surpassed by muscular versions of himself, like Super Buu and Kid Buu, which is basically saying that being fat is inferior to being muscular, which is obviously not true. Don't get me started on Dragon Ball Super. As for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that manga is filled with unrealistically muscular men up until the middle of part 4, and those men often show off their muscles, sometimes even through their clothes. I've only talked about old stories from the 80s and 90s, but there's been a load of problematic behavior. Yu Yu Hakusho is the next suspect. Throughout the manga, especially in and after the Dark Tournament, male characters show off their muscles in vulgar ways. Yusuke went shirtless against younger Toguro, Hiei, Sensui, and Yomi. Kuwabara had his whole chest out against elder Toguro. Every time Kurama becomes Yoko Kurama, his outfit shows off his arms and chest. Hiei was shirtless against Yusuke both times they fought, and against Mukuro. Toguro was shirtless in nearly every fight, and his power consisted of his muscles increasing in size. Who thought this was a good idea? Boy, bye. Sensui goes shirtless against Yusuke, and Yomi shows off his arms against Yusuke. This is all so salacious. Now we get to the big three. In One Piece, Luffy's arms are almost always visible in all outfits, but in part 1, he has a couple pre-time skip outfits that are just an unbuttoned sleeveless shirt, showing off his muscular torso and arms, like in Thriller Bark, Sabaody, and Impel Down. In time skip, he's almost always wearing this crew type of shirt. Zoro goes through the same type of problem. His arms are almost always visible, but in part 1, he occasionally takes it a step further and bares his chest, like in Enies Lobby and Sabaody. But in part 2, it gets worse because his main kimono permanently exposes his chest, and both Luffy and Zoro have been known to take off their shirts during battle. This is getting too long, so I'll speed it up. Usopp has the same problem. Chopper is always shirtless in part 1, allowing for his frame to be shown when he takes other muscular forms. And then Frankie is basically naked in both parts. And these are just the main characters. It's giving toxic masculinity. Next up, Naruto. In Naruto part 1, this isn't much of a problem, but in part 2, Kishimoto falls into the trap of oversexualization and toxic masculinity. In every outfit Sasuke is wearing before killing Itachi, his bare chest is out in the open. In fact, when fighting Itachi, his arms are also showing. And whenever he uses the curse mark, he takes off his shirt. Such a vile view. And then we have characters like A and B, who are jacked men showing off a lot of skin. Raikage is often shirtless, only sometimes wearing an open coat that exposes his torso. But B has half a shirt that shows off his arms and one pec. Pain goes shirtless in his fight against Naruto. Obito and Madara go shirtless during the war, and Guy goes shirtless when using Night Guy. Kishimoto thought he ate. Next is Bleach. Kenpachi and Shunsui's kimono are always showing off their chest. But on top of that, Kenpachi goes shirtless or nearly shirtless in fights like Yami and Gerald. Ikaku was shirtless the first time he used his Bankai. Ichigo and Okuura went shirtless during their fight. Grimmjow and Yami's outfit exposed their whole torsos, while Stark, Okuura, Neutra, and Zomari exposed a little bit of their chest. Yuriko went shirtless and became jacked when fighting Kenpachi. When Komamura turns human, he turns into a swole man with exposed arms and chest. Disgusting. Fairy Tail is the next perpetrator. In nearly every arc, Natsu is basically shirtless and showing off his muscular frame. Nearly every arc. In nearly every arc, Gray takes off his shirt, especially for the majority of his battles. This actually might be every arc. Gajil's primary outfit shows off his muscular arms. Overall, the amount of male characters that go shirtless during battle is unbelievable. This tea is hot. Hero Academia is the next assailant on decency and lack of sexualization. Kirishima has his bare torso showing. Sato has a skin-tight suit on a ripped body. Shoji shows off his muscular arms. Sarah has a skin-tight suit. Tokoyami has a moderately tight suit that shows off his muscular arms. Bakugo has a skin-tight suit that bears his muscular arms. All Might and Endeavor are swole men in skin-tight suits. Outside of just suits, Deku shows off his muscular arms and legs a lot, and was even shirtless for a majority of his muscular fight. Not Hero Academia over-sexualizing men. Not fans letting them get away with it cause they're men. Black Clover is an aggressor too. Asta has gone shirtless during battle, notably during the Witch arc. His initial time skip outfit was shirtless and showing off his ripped upper body. Yami is a swole man in a tight shirt that shows off his biceps. It's the constant sexualization of male muscles for me. Even Demon Slayer has Tengen Uzui showing off his massive biceps in his uniform. People complain about Kanroji's outfit being modified in a sexual manner, but no one ever complains about Uzui. It's the double standard for me. And when the main trio is training, they strip to show off their ripped bodies. My final example is Jujutsu Kaisen. Sukuna was shirtless when fighting Gojo and later Megumi. Yuji's muscular frame is on full display both times. Unbelievable. Period. And in the manga, Hakari was shirtless for his Kashimo fight. As you can see, men have been over-sexualized since the dawn of shonen manga through the vulgar showing of muscles such as biceps, pecs, and abs. This problem has gone unnoticed and unaddressed, so I, the Subversion King, have decided to do the noble thing and finally bring this issue to light. How dare these artists show an ideal body type that people should aspire to attain? Don't they know how insecure that makes out-of-shape people like me feel? I should be allowed to be fat and proud. These characters shouldn't be allowed to take pride in their ascended bodies, and the artists shouldn't be drawing such beautifully sculpted bodies. They should be more accepting of unappealing body types, and make all their characters more normal and average, or below average. No one wants to see the peak of human physicality and attractiveness. We want to see normal everyday losers like us. The Subversion King rests his case. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.